Born into motorsports heritage, Max Verstappen always seemed to have a sprinkle of magic dust guiding his racing journey, and this explains his fairy tale rise from riding quad bikes in his garden to winning multiple world titles in Formula One. However, before ascending to F1, Verstappen spent his junior racing years competing against older drivers. But against all odds, he emerged victorious time and again. So what exactly made Verstappen different from his peers? And why was his junior career so remarkable? Join us as we explore the fairy tale of Max Verstappen's junior racing career. Max Emilian Verstappen was born on the 30th of September 1997. His father, Jos Verstappen, was a Formula One driver between 1994 and 2003, while his mother, Sophie Kumpen, was a teenage karting prodigy who competed against future F1 drivers like Jenson Button, Giancarlo Fisichella, Jan Magnussen, and Jarno Trulli. Verstappen's fascination with automobiles started at a very young age. Before his third birthday, he was already riding quad bikes on two wheels. And despite a few tumbles, Verstappen was confident in his ability to control automobiles. Soon enough, his dreams became bigger than quad bikes. So he asked his parents to buy him a Gokart. Unfortunately for Verstappen, his request was rejected as soon as it was received. His parents didn't think he was big enough to drive a kart. But little Max wasn't giving up anytime soon. In 2002, Max Verstappen visited a racetrack with his mother and saw younger kids driving go-karts. He knew right away that this was the perfect moment to make his request again. Jos Verstappen was in Canada at the time preparing for a race when his phone rang. Max was on the other end of the call, crying and begging for permission to drive go-karts with other kids. I'm not too sure if it was the timing of the call or the tears, but Verstappen's request was miraculously granted. A few days later, Jos Verstappen bought a kart for Max. It was a baby kart, but little Max wasn't too bothered. He drove his baby kart so hard that the carburetor fell off multiple times. Jos knew right away that the baby kart was no match for Verstappen's fierce driving, so 24 hours later he ordered a mini kart, and after a few adjustments, Max was ready to take on the world with his machine. At the 2003 Japanese Grand Prix, Jos Verstappen retired from Formula One, drawing the curtain on what was an uninspiring professional racing career. Despite being an F1 driver for nearly 10 years, his biggest achievement was 2 podium finishes, but his vast experience and guidance would prove to be a treasure trove for young Max. For the next 2 years, Max Verstappen honed his karting skills under his father's tutelage, and by the time he turned 7 in 2005, he was ready to compete. Max entered the Mini Junior Limburg Kart Championship, and despite competing against older drivers, he finished second. That same year, he won the VAS Championship in the same category. A few months later, he secured the first major karting title of his career, winning the Minimax category of the Belgian Rotax Max Challenge with a staggering 990 points. He won in the same category in the Dutch Championships, meaning he was the champion in Belgium and in the Netherlands. This culminated in an unbeaten streak that ran from 2005 to 2007. It was an unprecedented achievement, especially for a kid that was just about 9 years old at the time. However, Jos Verstappen knew there was still room for improvement. During winter, he'd whisk Verstappen away from school in his van every Friday and they'd embark on a road trip from the Netherlands to Italy. Once they arrived in Italy, they'll spend the next 2 days practicing on all the circuits Max Verstappen would drive on during competitions. Italy is where the competition is, where all the factories are, and I wanted him to learn all the tracks and I wanted to see where we were in terms of speed, in terms of engine, chassis, and things like that, Jos Verstappen said. When Jos and Max weren't traveling to Italy at weekends, they visited a nearby racing circuit in Genk 2 or 3 times every week. It didn't matter what the weather conditions was. Jos and Max stuck to this routine. They were always out on the track practicing, even on days when it snowed. After 5 laps, he'd come in, his hands were frozen, Jos Verstappen explained. I said, okay, go in the van and warm yourself up. And after 5 minutes, I got him out of the van and he had to drive again. It was not always pleasant for him, but I think that created his character as well a little bit. This relentless dedication to practice made Max Verstappen superior to his peers. More importantly, it laid the foundation for future triumphs on the track. In 2008, Max won 3 titles, including the Belgian Cadet Championship, Rotax Max Challenge Belgium, and the Minimax category of the Benelux Karting Series. 1 year later, Verstappen won the Belgian KF5 Championship and defended all his Minimax titles from the previous year. By 2010, Max Verstappen joined the CRG Factory team as he prepared to make his international karting debut at age 12. As the son of a former F1 driver, Max gained plenty of attention. However, his performances on the track justified all the hype about him. He finished second at the KF3 World Cup behind Alex Albon. Both drivers carried on their rivalry to the WSK Euro Series, and Max Verstappen beat Albon to the title this time with 1 race to spare. He also won the WSK Nations Cup and the WSK World Series, scoring over 150 points. Perhaps the only dent on Verstappen's racing record in 2010 came at the European Championship, where he finished third. Other than that, he was unbeatable, and as you can imagine, the media showered him with glowing reviews. Kart.com described him as the revelation of the year, and analysts couldn't stop talking about how good he is. In 2011, Verstappen would experience a dip in form. He finished 14th in the European Championship and lost the World Cup to Charles Leclerc, but a WSK Euro Series win against Esteban Ocon ensured he didn't end the season without a title. Following this underwhelming season, Max left CRG and joined the Intrepid Driver program. He settled in instantly, winning the WSK Master Series in the KF2 class and the South Garda Winter Cup. A 6th place finish at the WSK Euro Series and an 8th place finish in the KF1 Category World Championship completed a strong racing year for Max Verstappen. The world was at his feet, but young Max Verstappen was only getting started. If you've enjoyed this video thus far, please subscribe to the channel and leave a thumbs up to let us know you liked it. Ahead of the 2012 season, Verstappen made a sensational return to the CRG Factory team in what would become the best move of his karting career. His second stint with CRG was very successful, especially in 2013 when he won multiple titles, including the KF2 category of the South Garda Winter Cup, the WSK Euro Championship, and the KZ class of the Master Series. On top of that, Max beat Charles Leclerc to win the World KZ Championship, becoming the youngest driver to achieve that feat. Having conquered karting, it was time for Max Verstappen to transition to car racing. For most drivers, the next move would have been to race in different single-seater categories like Formula 4 or Formula Renault before making the big step up to GP3, GP2 and then Formula 1. But Verstappen was no ordinary driver. He was a special breed, and his father knew this. So in October 2013, he reached out to the Manor MP team to arrange a private test at the Pembrey circuit in South Wales. It was Verstappen's first time racing a Formula Renault car, but he didn't even look out of place for a second. After 160 laps of testing, the Manor MP manager Tony Shaw couldn't believe his eyes. Max was absolute dynamite right from the off, Shaw said. A pleasure to work with. We were like, is this really his first test? But he was really in control, really quick, completely natural, without any bother whatsoever. Ironically, the Manor MP team also gave Lewis Hamilton his first drive in a racing car, so perhaps it was a sign that Verstappen was destined to have a great professional racing career. But first, he'd make a quick stop in the FIA European Formula 3 Championship to write the last chapter of his illustrious junior racing career. Driving for the Van Amersfoort racing team, Verstappen announced his arrival into Formula 3 with a bang. He won 10 races, one more than his closest challenger Esteban Ocon. However, he missed out on the title after suffering a series of engine failure issues, which were heavily penalised by the FIA. At the end of the season, Max Verstappen finished in third place, but the Dutch sensation had done enough to capture the attention of F1 teams from Mercedes to Red Bull. On the 12th of August 2014, he joined the Red Bull driver program.
That was last week when we signed the deal. I couldn't believe it in the beginning.
6 days later, Red Bull shocked the entire grid when it announced that Max Verstappen would drive for its junior team, Toro Rosso. Max hadn't even driven a Formula 1 car at that point, but Red Bull were confident they had found a driver for their future, and they were right. At 17 years and 166 days, Verstappen became the youngest ever driver after he made his debut for Toro Rosso at the 2015 Australian Grand Prix. 14 months later, Verstappen was driving for Red Bull, and he stormed to victory in his debut race for the team at the 2016 Spanish Grand Prix. At just 18 years and 228 days old, Verstappen became the youngest driver to win a Grand Prix, a testament to his undeniable talent and an indication of the illustrious career ahead of him. What do you think of Verstappen's junior career? Let us know in the comments section below.